What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Good Smile Company Max Factory or Figma Kyojuro Rengoku. This is a figure I know a lot of people have been waiting on, especially if you didn't get your hands on the Buzz mod, and here we are. So let's not waste any time and get straight to it, starting off with that sexy packaging. Now for the sexy packaging, it's pretty much the same thing that we've been getting with all of the Demon Slayer Figmas, except this one is a standard DX, if that's what you want to call it. There's no separate versions. This one comes in what looks like the DX box that you normally get if you purchase the, I guess, upgraded versions of Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. I don't think Nezuko had one. I might be wrong. I don't remember. But yeah, either way, you do get the little slip cover with a cool image of him on the front. I love this, but I don't know what's going on, man. This box was like hella dirty the moment I took it right out of the packaging. So Figma, what's up with that? You do get the logo right at the bottom with his name, the gold strip. That looks really good. I love this image on there. Nothing much going on the top, nothing at the bottom. On the side right here, we have a image of him that looks really good, man. This figure looks dope. On this side right here, you don't have anything going on. On the back, you can actually see some poses you can get the figure into, as well as the accessories right here. And then a dope image of him fighting Akaza, who also just released. I should have mine in a couple of days. But anyway, if you take this off, here are some more images of the figure looking really, really dang good. And I just hit the camera, my bad. But yeah, this figure looks really good. You got all the legal stuff right here at the bottom. And then if you turn it around, of course, you can actually see the figure as well as the accessories at the top. Battle Damage Rengoku at the bottom, same image. And then on this side, you've got another image of him. So yeah, really, really dope box. Pretty big, so it is going to take up quite a bit of shelf space. But I mean, hey, it looks pretty, so I'm not complaining. All right, you guys, straight out of the packaging, we have to talk. Because this right here has already just holding this figure has completely shocked me. Now, if you guys keep up with my content, then I'm pretty sure you guys already know my love/hate relationship with Figma. It's just so many inconsistencies most of the time. But this figure right here is a complete surprise to me. For one, because this figure is actually much bigger than I was expecting it to be. This is bigger than the standard Figma. I don't think I've ever had a Figma figure that feels like it's not in proportion with Figma figures. And that sounds crazy, I know, but I'm to tell you guys, you might have to have your hands on this one to understand what I mean. I'll show you guys later once we get to some size comparisons. But off of that, this thing looks really damn good, man. And I know, I really feel like they put effort, if nothing else, into the sculpt of this guy. And to be honest, it feels exactly like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and everyone else, but they upscaled the figure and it just looks so damn good, man. This guy was literally covered in plastic. It took me 2 minutes to even get all the plastic off of him so that I could show him in front of this camera for you guys to look at. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the details and we'll zoom in. Now, taking a closer look at this guy, I have to say that I am really dang impressed with this. But we all know that when it comes to Figma, they're pretty much uncanny when it comes to getting the looks of the characters down right. Granted, they've had a few hiccups, like maybe the Yuji figure that came out. I thought that looked a little off. But for the most part, they get it right. And with the Demon Slayer line, they've been absolutely killing it. Now, that's not including the quality control issues. We're just talking about the look of the figures. This one is no different, man. This looks like Rengoku walked right out of the anime and turned into an action figure. This just looks so damn good, man. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this cape piece right here, but it's not that bad. It actually doesn't hinder the articulation as much as I thought it would. You can still move his arms around over it and everything. So, I mean, it can probably be a little bit problematic in terms of how it looks when you're posing him around, but it's a very soft plastic, so it's not going to hinder him. And that's the main thing that I was worried about. I was like, oh man, if this is a hard plastic, he's not going to be able to articulate well. But the rest of the cape is on hinges, so you can get those blowing in the wind type things, type effects, whatever. You can really get that look. Just know that it is going to hinder him looking up. That I can say for sure. My hand's ashy. I don't know if you guys can tell that. I'm gonna put some lotion on. I'll do that after this. But yeah, anyway, this thing just looks dope, man. Once again, it's Tanjiro and Zenitsu all over. It's just upscaled. And I can't wait to show the size comparisons, because it's going to be a real surprise for a lot of you guys that collect Figma once you see what this looks like. But overall, all the way down to the feet, everything is painted very nicely on this guy. I don't really see any quality control issues. We'll see once I get to the articulation. Everything just looks so dang good, man. And if this ends up being a good figure, a solid figure, this will be their best piece. I am calling it right now. If we don't have any hiccups with this figure, this is going to be the best Demon Slayer figure. Now, when it comes to the height on this guy, to the top of his head, he's literally right at about 6 inches. Just a tad bit under, but not very much. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. That's typical scale for a 6-inch figure. But just wait till we get to the size comparisons. You guys will see what I mean. Now, articulation-wise, as you guys can see, he's not really going to look up. He just has too much hair. And unfortunately, you can hinge these out a bit, but they still don't really increase the articulation much at all. So looking up poses aren't really going to happen. He does look down very, very well, though. That won't be a problem. Of course, he does get tilt and all kind of movement. He can be very expressive, as Rengoku is. His ponytail is actually on a hinge, looks like. It can go up and down. You just have to rotate it. I don't know why I have it sitting so low, but yeah, you guys can see it does rotate very well. Like I said, these hair pieces are on hinges as well. Not the frontal piece though, so you're not going to get anything out of that. This right here, as I showed earlier, is a very soft plastic. So when it comes to moving the arms, it's still going to be a bit of a pain, but you can move them. Now, I'm actually going to take this off. As you can see, it's just plugged into the back with 3 different hinges for that. So that's how that'll work. Now, in terms of looking up, he can look up very well if you take the cape off of him. That's not a problem. Looks down, I think that's about the same. But yeah, the arms can go up and out about that much. Now, one thing I want to say, I didn't say this earlier, but this figure feels so sturdy, man. Something about this just feels much better than the others. I don't know if it's a different plastic. It feels the same, but it just, well, it doesn't feel the same. I don't know, man. Something about this just works very, very well. Look at that, man. The butterfly joints on this guy are absolutely phenomenal. These work very, very well. I like this a lot. As far as the elbows, they don't bend as much as I would want them to, but you can get them in about that much, and you can still get those hands behind his head poses. You're going to have to work for them, but actually, nah, I'm going to take that back. You really can't get the hand behind the head pose. That's about as far back as it gets. But if you want to get him in like guarding poses, fighting, I don't know, maybe him and Akaza are having a fist fight, he's guarding, you can do that. That's perfect. And that also means you can get him in those sword swinging poses. Now, as far as hands, it's on the typical Figma hinge, but they put it in the center this time. I love when they put the hole in the center. It makes it so much easier to move the hands around instead of putting it at that angle where it can get really annoying just trying to articulate. But in terms of leaning, he leans back about that much. He leans forward about that much. Not really a whole lot. That part's kind of lackluster. You get more if you use the waist, but in total, that's about as far as it gets. Back, you got to watch for gapping. He does swivel very, very well. Legs are on the drop down, so he can kick all the way up if you want him to. Can kick all the way back. He can do the splits only about that much, but I mean, that's going to work for the poses you want to get him into anyway. Slight swivel in there, not very much. As far as the knees go, they are actually double jointed, but they bend at the knee right here, and then they bend right here at the upper part of the boot. So yeah, it can look a little ugly, but I mean, when it comes to getting those poses, they do work. That's one thing I can say. They do work. He doesn't have, actually I lied, he does have a swivel built in there also. So you can get all kinds of poses with that. That is crazy. And I think Tanjiro and Zenitsu had that also. But still, it looks good. Drop down about that much. Up about that much, which is a lot. He does have really good ankle articulation, and then he also has a toe hinge that is very, very stiff on mine. Let's try this one. Yeah, that one works a whole lot better. So yeah, this toe hinge is a little stiff. Now, one thing I do want to say is it does have a tad bit of gappage in here whenever you're standing him up, but I'm fine with that because of the fact that, hey, I mean, if you want articulation, sometimes there will be a little bit of gapping. So that's fine. One thing I don't like is this right here. Now, maybe you can pull this out. I'm sure you can. But when you don't have the sword on, it does have this little plug right here, which is articulated, so you can move the sword around. That's why I waited to this segment to show this. But yeah, if you don't have the sword on, it just has this little peg in there. And I don't think that's meant to come out. It can, but I don't think it's supposed to. So yeah, that's one thing I don't like. But as long as you have the sword on him, it'll look fine. Alright, y'all, when it comes to accessories, I damn near don't even know where to start. I'm actually going to have to do this in 2 separate sections just because he comes with so much stuff. First off, he comes with 3 facial expressions. You get the smiling face, you get the happy face, and then you do get the battle damage face, which I'm really glad that they threw in. Now, one thing I wish they would have thrown in is another angry face where he's yelling, screaming, because I mean, he went all in that battle with Akaza, and I feel like Buzzmod did it okay, but the angry face he came with, he was looking to the side, so both of them missed out on the opportunity to give Rengoku a really dope, just yelling, screaming, I don't know, flame breathing face. Like, they just completely missed out on that opportunity. Now, one thing I want to mention that I completely forgot about is he also comes with a pair of interchangeable eyes. It's for both of these faces. It just, I guess it looks like he's still looking forward based on the way this looks. But that will help with this face right here where you can see he's kind of looking to the side. But the thing is, the paint on these is so good. I literally didn't even remember that these faces had interchangeable eyes until I saw this accessory. So that is great. I mean, if Reveltech can get to that point to where their interchangeable eyes don't even look interchangeable, they're on another level. But anyway, not to harp on that, he does come with his bento box. He comes with a pair of sword holding hands. These are more outward, like he's pointing the sword forward. He comes with a pair of open palm hands, relaxed hands, another pair of sword holding hands, a pair of fist hands, a pair of, like, I don't know, stylish pose hands, a pair of hands holding chopsticks for his food, and then a pair, well, an extra hand to hold the bento box. On top of that, he comes with a pair of crossed arms. He comes with this flame accessory that goes around his sword, and then he comes with the extra scabbard as well for his sword. I don't know what this is for. I have an idea. I know it was given to, that might be a spoiler, so I'm not going to say that. But I don't know what that is for, because technically, if they're going based off of where the anime is right now, he shouldn't have this accessory. It should come with another character. But I don't want to get into spoiler territory, so moving right along. Now, as if that wasn't enough already, he does also come with 3 other fire-breathing effects. He comes with 2 ground pieces and then 1 slashing effect. And then, yes, he does come with his sword, 1 unsheath and 1 sheath. So this guy comes with a buttload of accessories, and I couldn't be happier about that. Now, moving on to size comparisons, here he is standing next to his 3 students. We have the knuckleheads from the Mugen Train, the Figma Tanjiro Kamado, the Figma Zenitsu, and of course the Figma Inosuke, who is still my favorite despite me still thinking that Rengoku's probably the best. Now, as you guys can see, he does stand quite a bit taller than all 3 of them. as he should. But what's next is what I think is going to surprise you guys. Now, next up here, he is standing next to the Figma Nezuko Kamado, and as you guys can see, he's quite a bit taller than her, as he should be, but this is the one that caught me off guard the most. Here he is standing next to the Buzzmod Rengoku, which as you guys can see, he is quite a bit taller than. Now that really threw me for a loop. But now that I'm looking at it, it does seem like the Figma, not only are the proportions much more accurate, but it just looks better overall. He doesn't have the extremely baggy pants that have been completely reused between figure to figure. He looks a little bit more slim. The colors are much more vibrant, making the figure pop a whole lot more. And honestly, I just gotta say, the Figma is just much more pleasing to look at. Now, that's no surprise to me, but I didn't think that it was going to look this much better. If you guys want that video, let me know and I'll make it. But as of right now, I got to say, Figma just absolutely wins in terms of how the figures look. But last but not least, here he is also standing next to Giyu, who I think Giyu is maybe a little bit too big. I don't know if Giyu is bigger than Rengoku or not. Now I got to do some looking. But either way, Figma is killing it with this one. Moving on to some other anime protagonists. Here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super CGI Goku. The Reveltech My Hero Academia Deku. Had to show him off because My Hero Season 6 is popping. I don't care what anyone says. And last but not least, here he is standing next to the Figma Yuji Itadori. Which, look at Rengoku and look at Yuji. That size just, it's so crazy, man. It almost makes Yuji look like he's really small. Last but not least, I know most of these come far from left field, but I had them out, so I figured why not. Here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows 2-pack Spider-Man, the Jazzwares Meowscles, and of course the Mafex Batman Hush Blue version Batman. Now, all in all, I think that it is fully safe to say that this is without a doubt some of Figma's best work when it comes to the Demon Slayer line. I truly feel like this is probably the best figure they have released. Now, I do like Inosuke more just because I just really enjoy that figure. But as an action figure in terms of aesthetics, in terms of articulation, in terms of execution, accessories, I think that this one takes the cake, man. They went all in. Quite honestly, I got a really good feel for this figure while I was reviewing it. I checked for so many problems and they just didn't exist. This is why I have problems with Figma. Because of the fact that they can do figures this good, and then sometimes it's like, what are you guys doing? Like the Figma Dingy. It does not look good. But then they'll drop something like this that is absolutely outstanding. Literally the only issue I have with this figure is that I don't like the cape. And that's a personal thing. It doesn't necessarily hinder the articulation, but it just doesn't really look the best. That's my only issue. Other than that, they went all in. Accessories and everything on this guy are great. They fixed all of the QC issues that I had between the first couple of releases. I don't have a problem with this. And quite honestly, I'll save it for another video, but I can really say that I like this one more than the Buzzmod. I like this one a lot more than the Buzzmod. This thing is just incredible, man. And I just wish that Figma could continue doing this. If the rest of the Demon Slayer line goes like this, I have nothing to worry about. But they're inconsistencies, man. But I'm going to try and remain optimistic. That's why I continue to pick these up and I try to review them fairly. But this has me hyped, man. This has me really hyped for Giyu. This has me hyped for Shinobu. I got Akaza on the way. I can't wait to see how that turns out. I really hope that they scaled him up the same way that they did this guy right here. Because if Akaza is small, that's going to suck because him and Rengoku were about the same height. So, I don't know, man. Figma's inconsistencies, they just kill me, yo. Because this is so damn good. And if I got this every single figure, I would be happy, man. I would be so damn happy. Y'all don't know how much I love it. This review pissed me off multiple times because I kept having a lot of issues. Not with the figure, but with everything around setting up and all of that. But that doesn't matter. This is a damn good figure, man. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you can get your hands on it, go and do it. He's totally worth it. Yes, he's a little bit pricey, but I promise you, if you're a fan of the character, once you get your hands on it, you're not even going to think about it, man. Go get this figure. Yes, I do highly recommend this one more than the Buzz mod. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. The Buzz mod is good. This figure is superb. That's like 3 different levels higher. So yeah, anyway, that's my review. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.